Welcome to Real Filmmaking. My name's Corey Tindall, and today we're doing another short film review. So like I mentioned in my last video, I'm doing a series of short film reviews, right now starting with some of my short films, but hopefully in the future being able to look at some of the short films that you guys here on the channel have created. You can send them to me. I'd love to take a look at them, spotlight them here, do an episode like this. But yeah, I'm doing this because, we're all in the quarantine. It's hard to get out and hard for me to shoot new content, like footage for new videos. So this is a cool way to grow as a creator, to take your work, to look back at it, to see what you would do differently, to see the things you liked, and hopefully some of this information can be helpful for you as you're going out to shoot short films in the future. So today we're looking at the short film called Travel Fair Air. Now, I've done a couple videos here on the channel actually about more of the in-depth creative process behind this film. The whole thing is like I shot it, created it, wrote it, did everything within a day. And so that was a fun exercise. If you want to learn more about that, I'll throw some cards and I'll put links in the description so you can check those videos out to get more of my creative process. But today, we're just going to watch it, break it down, see the things I like, see things I do differently. And yeah, this is an older short film that I did, so I think it's at least 2 years old. I shot it with the Canon 60D, so I'm excited to see what I was doing back then. At this point, I'd been doing filmmaking for maybe about 2.5 years, so learning some stuff, but getting still more into like short films at this point. So let's take a look. That opening animation, I thought it was so cool. I like the color palette I kind of went with. I wanted it to feel like really washed out and sterile, because part of the whole thing is this guy wants to get out of the life he's trapped in. Yeah, I think that kind of works. There are a couple scenes even already that I'm seeing that like are a little overexposed, so maybe I would have slapped an ND filter on my camera and done something a little different. A couple of these shots are not exactly in focus. This was kind of hard because this was one of the first short films where I was being the actor, like filming myself, and so that limits some of the camera moves that you could do. And like I've mentioned before on this channel, the Canon 60D, like some of the autofocus systems are not the greatest, so having to act in the short film, like position yourself, set up the shot, and then actually like make sure like the focus is right gets a little tricky. And so like in some of these early shots, it's not super noticeable, but it's a soft focus. It's not dead on. I would have wanted it to be a little bit more dead on. I like a lot of the shots in this film, particularly in the realm of visual storytelling, because there is some dialogue, but I really wanted the story to be told through the whole idea of like he's looking out, he doesn't want to be here, he's trapped. And so it's like, how much can I do that with the scenes that I set up and show people? I really like this shot. I really like the shot where Miles is kind of on the left side of the frame, and it's called short sighting. And so a lot of the shots as this film goes on, I'm trying to convey a sense of claustrophobia, and not in like a horror film way, but just in a sense of like someone feels trapped and they're trying to get out. So there's a lot of times that I short sight him as an actor. There's a lot of times when you see shots out of the window where it's purposely like you see the paneling of like the window frame that is obscuring like the full view, like as opposed to just getting a full shot of like the city or the street. I just like the split lighting here, where it's not like that intense dramatic split lighting, but it just looks really nice. It's kind of nice because it's like the windows, you do have the sunlight, but the way that the windows were, it's not like directly super harsh, so it's a little bit diffused, and so it looks kind of nice in some of these shots. So I think in this film, this sequence starting here with the watch and like the next couple of shots is one of them that I'm like really proud of. That watch whip transition, and then he's eating, and then you get him kind of staring, looking out the window. I'm having this weird back and forth with the lighting. There's things I really like about it, but then at the same time, I'm like, parts of the image are like really blown out. And that's okay, because the actor, the character is not blown out, like you can see them, but there's some times where I'm like, I just wonder what this scene would look like if it wasn't as blown out. Again, I really like this shot. I like you know, he as the worker is kind of dwarfed by this huge window and he's just alone there by himself. But the shot's a little softer than I'd like. I like this shot. It's composed really nicely. All right, well, there we go. So, all in all, that's Travel Fair Air. I can definitely tell as I'm watching this film, there's a lot of good things starting to bud, I feel like, in my filmmaking. I wouldn't say this is a bad short film, but there's definitely stuff like just basic things like focus where I don't nail it every time, because like I said, this was the first time I'd ever done a short film or even just any type of video where I was setting the focus and then like walking into frame, and so getting it dead on accurate without good autofocus, it just is a thing that takes practice. Another thing, I haven't really talked about the storytelling so far. I was just looking a lot more at like shot composition, stuff like that. Watching this again, I think you get the gist of like he's a person working in an office and he gets tired of it. He works at a travel place. He helps other people go travel the world. He doesn't ever get to travel the world. I wish I could have fleshed that out a little bit more in some of the dialogue. You do get like he helps book other people's trips, but I feel kind of near the end, it might turn a little quickly for some people, how he just all of a sudden kind of snaps and he's just like, you know what, just figure it out yourself, I'm gonna go. I'm still happy with Travel Fair Air. I think it was a good piece in learning. And again, this is a thing with short films. Not every short film has to be you know, an Oscar-winning short film. You know, I know as filmmakers, we all get that in our head, or even as creatives, like if you're making videos here on YouTube, and we feel so scared just to put something up. And I don't mean just like, yeah, you know, just film something, whatever, and just don't edit it or don't even try. But we're so scared to just try something and to learn and grow. If you don't make videos, if you don't take opportunities to make things and to grow and to learn, we're never going to grow and get better as filmmakers. And I think short films, like I've said before on this channel, are one of the best ways to grow, because it's kind of just like a little experimental fun time. Short films are just really good opportunities to focus on different skills, to hone them. And so then when you go to make that bigger short film, or you go to take on that bigger job from a client, or, you know, one day to shoot that bigger, like, you know, dream piece that you've always wanted to shoot, like, you know, hey, a feature length, you've done all this practice with short films, so you can come in and you can be like, oh yeah, like when I, like for me, for instance, like, oh yeah, when I did Travel Fair Air, I learned this about, like, you know, pulling focus and making sure it's sharp, and like some stuff about lighting, make sure things are not overexposed. There's all these different things that we learn, like we build one thing on top of another. We feel equipped as filmmakers to put our best foot forward, knowing that we've made some of the mistakes, we've paid those dues, and, you know, we're gonna not make those mistakes on these bigger projects. So like I said at the beginning, I'd love to open this up to any viewers on the channel, or if you just found this video, if you have a short film that you'd like me to take a look at in this at-home series I'm doing of short film reviews, please send it to me. You know, comment down below. You can put a link to it if it's on YouTube. You can email me. I'd love to take a look, feature some of your work here on the channel. If you found this video helpful or enjoyable, please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe to the channel for more content about filmmaking, storytelling, all the creative process goodness coming on a weekly basis. And until next time, stay safe, wash your hands, take all the precautions, and remember to keep making movies and watching movies. And I'll see you next time on Real Filmmaking.